today's Farm for Fun show, we stay in the state of Iowa with an old friend of the podcast. He's the king of hating on Nebraska corn. He's freshly engaged, so ladies, lay off. He has over 20,000 followers on TikTok from Northwest Iowa, Mr. Nick Hansen.
Hey! Good to finally be here.
How's it going, Nick?
Oh, this year is a lot better than this time last year.
Yeah?
But a year ago, fell off the roof of my house there and broke my ankle.
I remember that, and then you were in a boot all fall.
Yeah,
right?
That was not comfortable.
So give us a little background. I'll give a little flyover there. Where do you farm? What do you farm? And who are you?
Right on Highway 20, right by Shaler.
Okay.
South of Storm Lake, for those that don't know. I have been farming. I graduated Iowa State in 2012.
Okay.
Came back and worked in the fertilizer and chemical sales business for 3 years full-time and a few more years independently after that. And then I like to say I retired from that, and I farm full-time now and do a little trucking on the side.
You're like everyone else that retires. They just want to farm.
Exactly.
Just want to farm. Right. Whether you're a doctor or a banker, everybody wants to retire and be a
sales.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Oh, wait. I just got a text message. So I don't know if you guys can see the phone number down there right in front. If you do have a question for Nick, you can send us a text. The first question, just to make you really, really pressed for your knowledge, why do geese fly south for the winter?
I would assume it's warmer down there. I don't know.
The questions can be anything. That's just an example of what you guys
Who
have
sent
done.
that one, Q?
I don't know. Just comes to my phone. So that's Northwest Iowa, up there along Highway 20. So for those of you that don't necessarily know the Farm4Profit Podcast or my background, we actually grew up playing each other in conference sports.
About 15, 20 minutes apart.
Yeah. So long time connection that kind of circled its way back here recently. So happy to have you on the podcast. Get some Northwest Iowa energy and, of course, some Iowa corn perspective here on our show. So your farm, is it just you or is there family? What's the family dynamic look like on your farm?
So I farm with my father. He's been farming since, I want to say, 78 on his own.
Yep.
And then, like I said, I came back in, I think 2013, I started farming a little bit with him. And 2016 or so, I was able to go off on my own.
Yep. Corn, soybeans, alfalfa. Cattle?
I have some cows. It's more of a hobby right now. I'm actually selling tomorrow.
Really?
All the cows?
All the cows. The market is hot, and I am doing a lot of home projects right now and cleaning my place up. Got some trees coming out and new trees going in next spring. So I figured now is the time to sell the cows.
That doesn't mean you're retiring from livestock. This is just the time to sell.
This is just for a short time.
And you're also a big sweet corn guy.
I do grow some of the best sweet corn.
Probably the best in Iowa, because I challenged you, and then I didn't even grow any this year.
Oh, that's good. So what's the secret to good sweet corn?
Having an irrigation system set up.
Yeah.
I have a 400 or 500 foot of garden hose, and I run it down from my house, and But then again, any sweet corn is better versus Nebraska corn.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Quentin's.
Yes. So where do you think that Nebraska-Iowa rift started?
I think there's always been that, but just certain people bring it out more than others. And when you got people who, just good friends that rag on each other, it just makes it a lot easier.
Oh, that's good.
So a year ago, you broke your leg, but you didn't even have a girlfriend at that time, right?
I did not.
But now you're engaged.
I am.
That has to be a story. I got to hear it.
So, like I had said, I truck part-time, and all winter, and I was going up into South Dakota hauling turkeys.
Yep.
And, when you're sitting in the truck, you get a little bored, so you're swiping on Tinder, and came across this one gal, and we started talking back in February, end of February. I think we went on our first date in early March, and July 3rd, I was up there. She's originally from northern Minnesota, and figured, you know what, might as well go buy a ring.
Yeah.
And luckily, she said yes.
Wow, there must have been a deep connection there because it's such a short time.
We, Sioux City's right in the middle, so we met quite a few times. Went out for supper, did some football games at the event center up there, and baseball games. So, but yeah, it's moved along pretty fast.
When's the wedding?
Next May 6th, or 2023.
Okay.
And we're all invited, right?
You are.
It's going to be the biggest wedding of the century.
I'm not for sure everyone's happy with our decision on May 6th, right during planning season, but we will make it work.
Maybe we'll be done by then. That'd be the wishful thinking.
Yes.
As long as I'm not doing chili beans, we should be close to being done.
So as a young single guy before that, you were having women throw themselves at you all the time. And one of your most recent, I think, Snapchats, it was hilarious. You guys were going out on, what was that, a gift card from someone else? What happened?
Yeah. So we went to eat at, what restaurant was that?
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel the other day.
And how did you get that gift card?
There was a gal, I won't say where she was from, but...
Probably Nebraska.
She probably listens to the podcast.
She sent me I don't know why, but she sent me a gift card to Cracker Barrel.
God, what did you send her?
Nothing.
Just for the content creation. Well, it paid off.
What's that?
It paid off. Your
did.
Influencer status got you a free lunch.
Yes.
I can't wait until we have a conversation later this afternoon to figure out what else is going on. I feel like there's people out there picking on you.
I tell you what, though, some of those videos...
Now they're trying to call him.
Yeah, they're right there.
It's right there picking on you, which is fine. They're not the ones up here on stage.
But some of those videos I made last year, I kid you not, there was 500 or more ladies that direct messaged me asking to get married.
Holy cow.
Are they all from the U.S.?
They were all, but nothing local, but that was a lot. My phone blew up for quite a while there.
You must put how many acres you farm out on there on TikTok or something.
No. I soon learned, do not give your Snapchat name out.
Oh, yeah.
That got pretty hectic.
That's
Maybe
the problem.
they learned to read a plat book.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out why this county in Iowa keeps getting requests for plat books to be mailed out to Pennsylvania and Florida and all around this place. Well, Corey, he's going to get married next May. We've both been married for a while, and we've stayed married. Do we have any advice, any pre-marriage advice for him?
You're never going to be right again.
Never going to be right again.
So I did not tell you the whole story about me selling the cows, though, either.
Uh-oh.
Oh. It's because she wants to get horses, isn't it?
She has horses.
Oh, my.
So next spring, summer, there will be horses coming down.
It's already starting.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, you knew this going into it, so we can't feel bad for you.
There goes my hay sales.
Yeah.
I have to start feeding horses.
You're not supposed to feed your own supply or get high on your own supply.
I know.
As we sit here looking out over this group that is listening to your episode, I want to see if I get some heads to nod. But in preparation for this show, I sent some direct messages out to get some feedback from some of your friends. And I very kindly went through with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that we have good ones here, some marriage advice. Corey, I put them at the bottom of the page. And we'll kind of hit some of these. First one was never leave the house without saying goodbye. Did you ever get in trouble for that, Corey?
I'd say she probably does that more than me.
Oh, that's not fair. I get in trouble for that. Look at my wife's here too. She's nodding her head. Never leave the house without saying goodbye.
Did you say bye this morning?
I did say goodbye, and then she came to see me again.
Nice. Keep your spouse's secrets, no matter how small. I would say that is definitely true.
Yeah. When bringing up you got something to that?
No, that's fair.
Yes. When bringing up a complaint, start with a compliment first.
Makes sense.
And then you probably should end with a compliment, too.
Yes,
Don't ever stop going on dates. That one gets tough when you're farming and you have kids. Sometimes the date has to be in the tractor.
Yes. Understand that love changes over time and embrace that change.
Is it awkward for you to be saying this in front of your wife?
No. No. But she is, like, that's the first time she's paid attention to the whole conversation.
Probably.
Was the marriage advice. It's good advice for me, too.
This is my favorite. Spend a little quality time apart.
There you go. You still got to keep your own. Still got to keep your own hobby and everything like that. So I can't wait till after the conversation. I'll show you the ones that probably aren't podcast worthy. But ultimately, we wish you the best of luck and can't wait to all be there at the wedding. But I don't know if we could stop talking about her, but maybe we should move on.
That's fine.
Give them a little bit of a break. So did you always, as a kid, when we were playing, run up against each other in sports, and every time that we came across, was your dream to be a farmer? Or was that something that came on a little bit later?
I knew I wanted to, but going through high school and coming upon graduation, I knew at the time, there wasn't an opportunity to farm right away. So that's when I went to college. And then I went to another college. And then I went to another college and finally settled on my fourth college, and 6 years later, I graduated.
Nice.
So now, is there a succession plan in place for what the farm's going to look like down the road?
I'm sure my family has it squared away.
Which one?
As far as full communication, that's not there yet, but I'm sure there's a plan.
I get to interject. This is David, the third member of the podcast, and the guy that's been married longer than any of you fools. I don't know how I didn't get invited to be on the marriage advice one. That's it. I'm going to the John Deere booth.
Mic dropping out. So that's just one of the key things that we've talked on a lot of podcast episodes is it's not an easy conversation to have. And the pleasure of being here, a part of Sukup at the Farm Progress Show, is they're a family-run business themselves. And there's succession in the conversations that have to happen be early and often in order to be successful. But ultimately, when you look at the future of your farm, what are you excited to have the most impact on in the future? What do you want it to look like 5 years from now?
Oh boy. Hopefully continue at least everything that we have. A lot of people want to grow, which was never a bad thing. But how much, and with the prices the way everything are now, how much is that feasible? Inputs are at not an all-time high right now, but they're
Close.
up there.
Yep.
Equipment is hard to find, and you're going to pay for it if you find it.
Let's move on to TikTok. What's your TikTok story? How'd you get onto that?
I think I saw someone on Facebook post some comments about it. This might have been in 2019. I went and looked it over, made one video, and I couldn't get the hang of it. I deleted it. And I think 2020 came around. My nephew, when the whole COVID thing, I think my nephews were home from school, and I started figuring making a video out, and soon it just came into play, and I don't know. It just took time to figure it out, and Next thing you know, this is pretty fun.
Yep. I think 2020 is when Farm Talk was birthed, and that's what we got this table and a couple tables here of some good friends. It's a small community.
Yeah, what is your favorite part about TikTok?
Just the communication that you have with the people all across Midwest. Like, you got a couple guys from Nebraska and Indiana, or Illinois guy. You got some Indiana guys here. Never knew them before, and now you feel like they're your friends that you've known forever.
Yep. Now we can kind of prove that Nebraska has terrible corn. And it's not just a theory anymore.
Just not letting that one go today. It's probably going to be a theme for the rest of our shows if you're going to follow us. We certainly aren't going to let that go. We used to play a game on our podcast that we're not even going to mention here because of the criticism that we've been getting. So we've come up with a new game to help get the opinion and the personality of our guests. So We're going to play Would You Rather.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know if anybody else is familiar with this, where you ask two different things and you get their opinion as to which one they would rather do. So first of all, are you an Iowa Hawkeye or an Iowa State fan?
Iowa State.
Okay. So the first one is, would you rather have to play Nebraska as a conference football game and never win again, or never win a Big 12 championship again?
I would rather never win a Big 12 championship. Nebraska is, there's not enough words to say.
This is a good
Politely.
one. I got to ask this one because this one goes towards Tanner. Would you rather only be able to live and farm in Nebraska or be a banker in Iowa?
Oh. That's a tough one. I would probably go and be a farmer in Nebraska.
Oh.
I probably would.
Oh, low blow.
Oh.
We didn't say you couldn't bank and farm.
But I was fully expecting you to stay in Iowa.
I don't know. I just don't ever see myself as an office job.
That's fair. And that's the fun part of making the office job an out-of-office job. What right now is your favorite crop to grow?
Easily corn.
Okay. So would you rather have to grow corn in Nebraska or have to figure out a new crop that you can only grow in Iowa, like jalapeno peppers?
I would try the new crop.
There we go. That's probably enough.
You think that's enough? I want one, like a superhero type question. Would you rather be invisible or be able to fly?
I would rather fly.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what's the reason behind that?
I don't have a real good reason. Just
At the beginning of
Seems
this
like a fun thing
interview,
to do.
at the beginning of this interview, I think he would have rather been invisible.
yeah, I'm.
Now you can
not as
fly
good-
in like a big drone, a manned drone.
Yes, we
Saw
that
that
kind of
yesterday.
technology is here. Yeah. So do you guys on your farm obviously have to truck crops and get them to the elevator. Do you have a lot of on-farm storage?
We have a fair amount. I don't know if I'd call it hat. So for our soybeans, we grow all seed beans. So we have to store all those. Corn, 30-40% probably of on-farm storage.
And that's when you go talk about the seed beans, that's where the reference to chili beans came in. It's not that you are trying to plant them in chilly conditions. You're talking about where the seed's actually coming from.
Correct. The last 2 years, they have asked us to grow chili beans, which means their winter production down in Chile, and you're not going to get them in your,
In a normal time.
your normal time. Typically, it's the 10th of
June. Yeah.
June. Last year was the 7th, 8th, 9th of June. This year we got them a little bit earlier, I think the last week of May.
Yep. Yeah, we were both growing seed beans last year. I think that mine came on same
Right.
time. They actually made pretty good yield last year for.
And
that
I
late one.
did a trial on the late ones for fungicide, and it still paid off.
Nice. Yeah, I think fungicide on beans is like a 4 out of 5 year payback. It's pretty good.
No, that's good. I've been a really bad host because I asked people to text in questions, and then I would get totally ignored my phone. So we're going to play some catch-up.
Oh boy.
Remember what that first question was, is why do ducks fly south?
Yeah.
We got the answer to that. And the answer is it's because it's too far to walk.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so we were both way wrong on that. We have somebody in the crowd that wants to know what your longest snap streak is.
I have that at. So Manure Mafia and I have a 310 day.
Wow.
He thinks that's pretty special. But let me find it. A guy who lives about 20 miles from me back home have a 1,661 days.
Oh my gosh.
That's over 3 years.
That's
almost
like the
over
start of Snapchat.
Yeah.
Gee, mini Christmas. We also got a piece of wedding advice, marriage advice from somebody sitting in the audience. During your marriage, there will be fights. When you are wrong, suck it up and just apologize. I'm sorry, honey, I was wrong, you were right. But then when you are right, for the love of God, keep your mouth shut.
That's something I probably should learn to do.
You're not supposed to flaunt it?
Oh, maybe that's something that, I guess my wife's not nodding her head at that one, but that's pretty good. So as we get ready to wrap up this conversation here, Farm Progress Show 2022, what is something in your life that has been challenging and that you and or your family has overcome?
So, 2004, on the 5th of July, I got burnt and got life flighted that night to Sioux City. And over the next few years, I would say I had 35 eye surgeries.
Whoa.
Including 3 cornea transplants.
My gosh.
And the first one worked perfect. I was one of 5 people in the world to come down with a certain infection, and it basically ate everything away that they did.
Ouch.
So for maybe 2-3 weeks, every half hour upon the hour, I had to do these certain eye drops. And that was, 2-3 weeks of no sleep.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I just thought eye drops every 30 minutes sounded erroneous and a little bit of extra effort, but I didn't even think about the sleep side of it.
Yeah, all night long.
That was good practice for becoming a truck driver.
Yeah. But so with that, so I have very, very little vision in that eye now. The doctors had told me there was a surgery they could do, and pretty much guaranteed vision back. It was like a artificial cornea, but the problem would be I would have to have an office job. I'd have to be a banker.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
Sounds miserable.
They said I could not be around dirt, dust, or on a farm. So with that option, I decided that's not for me.
Man. So how are things right now?
I'm at the point where I think it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago since the last time I went to Iowa City to the doctor, but everything's, it's stable, everything's fine. As far as vision, I have less than 5% out of that eye.
Yeah.
But it doesn't affect me at all from anything.
Good.
And you're still able to do what you love and that you dreamed of doing as a child.
Exactly.
Do you feel like it puts you in any more of a detrimental spot compared to other farmers? Or has it been something that's driven you with more motivation to do it better?
Well, as far as on the safety side, I do have to be obviously more careful in what I'm doing, just because vision is, you got to have it.
Yeah.
Or, it's pretty important. So I am follow a little bit more safety on certain things.
Good. Well, I'm glad you've come around and been able to do what you want to do.
Yeah, it really hasn't stopped me from doing anything.
It was probably pretty scary there for a while.
It was very scary.
So do you have any advice for someone that might have a challenging time or might be going through something similar to you as to what got you through it? Because I'm sure it took a little internal fortitude to not give up.
Oh, I tell you what, starting back, it was hard, miserable, really. And when I was younger, it happened when I was 16, and I wore sunglasses all the time, and I don't have an exact answer on how you get through it. You just say heck with it, and just it's there. It's what it is, and just move on.
Yeah. Don't let it define you, and just keep going. Cool. Well, probably getting ready to wrap things up. Are you going to come over to the John Deere tent? Follow us over there.
Have a beer there.
Did you come down here to see anything specific or just to hang out?
Oh, just to hang out with some Nebraska guys, but
Yeah. It's always good to hang out with them because it makes you look better.
it does.
That's right. No, that's good. Go ahead.
I was sort of curious on how long this was going to be up here, but I figured, it's just, we'll make this as long as a Keneally Farms workday, nice and sweet.
Short little episode. But we can't let you off the hook because we ask every one of our guests the same question. What is some of the best advice that you have ever been given? And for those of you that have never heard the Farm for Profit podcast before, you can find us on all platforms: Apple, Spotify,
Pandora, iHeart, Amazon Music.
Exactly. You can go to our website, farm4profit.com. If you want to send us a message, the phone number down there is to text, or it's farm4profitllc@gmail.com. If you guys are walking outside of the Sucut booth, this is definitely one you want to swing into. There's a ton of expertise, and we will also be broadcasting all morning tomorrow, which is Thursday, the last day of the Farm Progress Show. So what is some of the best advice you've ever been given?
Well, it's full of knowledge. A lot of people always share knowledge. I would say if you're passionate about doing something, just do it. Don't let any obstacles hold you back.
That's good.
Yep.
I like that.
Get it done no matter what.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm looking at the world's largest mosquito on that stool over there. I'm not sure what that is, but it's pretty big. But not to distract from Nick as our guest, we appreciate you hanging out with us here on the Farm for Profit podcast at the Farm Progress Show.
Yep.
What do you say, Corey? Is it time to let him go?
Let's go. Let's go to John Deere tent, crack a beer, and you deserve it.
There you go.